Long time. Good morning, gang. Hello. Oh, Karen's here today. Okay, good. You see on the sky tree, you can see the lights going around. This is unusual. It's going to be a nice day here, actually. It doesn't look like a blue sky, but it is. It's a clear day today here, so it's going to be all right. You see the lights going round and round on the sky tree. The new restaurant there, the one in the distance, just in the middle of the scene here, they're really up and running. They opened up, I guess Christmas Eve was the first day they had customers. They did some serving, and then the next day they were constructing again. So they were it was a real, cold open kind of a deal. They opened and built some more. And they were busy. Last night was crazy busy. Even though it was a Sunday, it's clear now, lots of companies now have shut down. Today's Monday, there's a few more days left in the year, but there's so few working days left that a lot of companies have just clearly shut down. So last night, Sunday night, should have been a pack up early and go home because you've got to go to work tomorrow. But that's not what happened. And it was busy. When I went to bed at around midnight, it was still raucous outside. Way raucous. So every day now from here to the end of the year, it's going to be busy. The government is giving the people the word, stay home, don't do this, don't go to bars, stay home. And the people don't care. Whatever. I don't know. Oh, Taran-san's here this morning. Good day, sir. Good day to you. We're talking about you. All the time we talk about you on this stream. Okay, it's going to be a mail call today. This is a show and tell. Show and tell for the end of the stream is going to be another one of those unboxings. I haven't opened it. And this is going to be a variety pack. It's like we had the other day. It'll be a variety pack, some junk, and hopefully some treasures. Well, we got a couple of cards. I don't know, let's do this. Is Karen here? Karen's here to show. Karen is here. Let's open it. It's a package from Karen. And the customs form tells me what it is. It says greeting cards and a poster. Let's see what Karen has sent us. When you get a greeting card from a professional woodblock printmaker, let's have a look. Karen, any instructions? This is the part where Dave takes a knife and cuts a woodblock print in half. Just knife it. Knife will be okay. She says knife's okay, so let's do that. Prints, woodblock print. It's to Cameron, not to me. Look at this print. Is this the newest one, Karen? I haven't seen this at all. December 2020, it's a new one. I have seen nothing about this. Look at this, nice gradations, top and bottom. Last time we had a bird from you, it was eating a steak. This looks different. Look more closely, it says height. Oh. Okay, this is what I've seen on the blog. Very nice. Look at this. Here we go. Thank you, Karen-san. Thank you very much. Really cool. Look at this job. Look at this stuff, Self-taught. Karen's doing this by herself, hacking away at wood, learning how to print. Beautiful, beautiful job. We've talked about this before. This is right up my alley. What Karen is doing is right up my alley. Modern stuff, interesting stuff, local, with meaning to her, and yet made as beautifully as she can possibly make it. It's going to be really fun watching what you come up with over the next few years. Really, really fun. Really fun. She says take it out of the plastic. Okay, I wasn't going to muck around with it too much here, but okay. Very nice, very peaceful, very quiet, very nicely done. Okay, okay, okay. Three-dimensional, eh? Look at this, beautiful. Beautiful embossing. Not embossing per se, printing, embossed printing. Yeah, someone's mentioning Australia too, and I think if you had asked me, just shown me this and asked me to guess what part of the world is this, I think I might have guessed Australia. I presume it's something near Texas, right? Something near where you are. Karen, thank you again. Well, thank you very, very much. Very much appreciated. These go into the Mocha Hong Kong collection, of course, very much. Much appreciated that you would send these to us. Thank you. And more Cameron too. That's interesting stuff too. Very strong, very light. Okay. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Karen here on the stream, the Vivid KP, these are her creations. She's designed them, carved them, and printed them. There's a website, which hopefully somebody will link here. Then we have, before we get to work here, okay, the stream today, we've got carving. It'll be a carving today, this morning. It's going to be carving. We do have a normal show and tell at the end of the stream. This is just sort of a quick mail call, a year-end mail call. And there's a couple of what look like Christmas cards, so let's have a look at these. And this could be from people on the stream here, or it could be from customers. Oh, another woodblock print. Another woodblock print. Yay, yay, yay. Another woodblock print. This is a different style. This is, I think, I'm not 100% sure. I believe this is a lino cut, perhaps. I'm not 100% sure. It could be lino, it could be wood, and it looks a bit like an oil-based pigment. I'm not quite sure what we're seeing here. It reminds me instantly of the people who are working in this field in the 20th century, early 20th century woodblock printmakers. There was a group of them working in a style very much like this. Dave and crew, thank you for the invaluable experience and wisdom shared via your website and stream. Wishing you a prosperous and healthy 2021. Oh, it's here. It's here. It's fly fish. It's okay. I'm putting things together here. I had no idea. Sorry. as noted, fly fish for fun. Wood, water-based, he says, no lino, okay. But the pigment, this has a sort of an opaque touch to the pigment. What kind of pigments are you using? I had no idea we had another member here. Sorry about that, I didn't know. I don't know the names to match here. And I'm also curious, without a key block, how did you actually do this? Roughly sort of two ways. You could draw a picture and trace different parts of it onto blocks, or you can, what Matt Brown does, he'll cut like a tree block first, print it, and then draw other stuff on the same print. Aqua, I don't know what that means. Aqua color, I've heard of the brand name, I don't know what it is, I'm sorry. So, all right, sir, thank you. Thank you for showing this, thank you for sending it. So am I guessing here this block, the brown trunk and the green uppers is the same block, but you print it with brown at the bottom and green from the top? Not quite sure here. Also too, the gray and the green looks to be on the same piece of wood here, maybe colored differently from each end. I'm not sure how this is done. Thank you very much. This is cool, this is really cool. I know having a stream and having a chat's all very well, but that people are using it to actually do stuff and to make prints. I mean, this is cool. I don't think there's going to be a print inside here. It's from a company, and maybe again I don't know who this is. Is it somebody perhaps on the stream here? I don't know, on the chat. I remember this person. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's a traditional kind of greeting card. I hope to have the chance to visit you again. I guess it's somebody who was here when we still had a shop. Is it somebody on the chat? Okay, to work. Thank you. Prints. I can't get enough woodblock prints. It's a reduction block. Okay, wait. Let's get that print back again here. Let's get that print. Where is it? Eesh. Reduction block. So let's just step through this a little bit then. So this means there's only one wood block involved here, right? There's only one wood block. Can you give us a rundown here, Mr. Flyfish? Like what comes first, what comes next? Can you give us a quick rundown on this? Because I don't know much about how this works. A reduction block. So you'd start printing with the lightest. Well, no, because stuff overlaps here. How are you doing that? I don't get that. This looks like there's two blocks here. There's a green block here, and then there's a blue block that's separate. No, it's not all printed at one time. I know that. It's color by color by color by color by color. Cut, print, cut, print, cut, print, cut, print. But I see sort of an overlap here, a green and a blue. So I don't see how that's done from one block. Sky first on one block. Okay, so it is more than one block. Okay. Okay, but just a minute. You say first block for the sky, but there's no blue here. So you're painting pigment just on part of the block then? Okay, I sort of get it. So there's a block for the sky at the background, and then everything else, it looks like, is on another block. which you print partially, sometimes with gray, sometimes with green, cut a bit more, cut it away, print black at the very end when it's down to the smallest part. Okay, we sort of get it, we sort of get it. You should show a step-by-step somewhere on a blog to show how this comes up, you know, because this is really complex stuff. And the reason we here at Mokuhanga, we would never do reduction prints is because you can't go back. You can't make more copies. And our whole thing here is, of course, we want to make lots and lots of copies of our prints. But if it's reduction, that's it. It's one copy, or as many copies as you make, one run, and then you're dead. So for us, no, we would never, ever, ever do that ourselves. Anyway, my God, we're already 15 minutes in and we haven't carved yet. Let's get to work. Thank you very much to both of you for sending those. Thank you very much. Oh, it's different. Sheena for the sky, cherry for the rest. Okay, lots to study there. Taran-san's commenting here. This is an interesting one, you know. Do we carve the inside or the outside first? And on stuff like this, I mean, obviously there's both an inside and an outside. And what can I say? If you've got something like this, if you've got a small circle, right, there's too much oil on the block here, but you got a circle to carve. And I was stuck on this first. I think it was, I was visiting a carver in Kyoto, Matsuda-san. We'd been in Kyoto for a holiday or something, I can't remember, and I got a chance to visit the guy Matsuda-san. And I had some prints with me, and he really wasn't involved. He was busy with his work, whatever. But I asked a few questions. I remember once asking, I said, when you got something like this, do you carve the outside first or the inside first? I remember specifically, because I was really curious about this. He looked at me like I was, like, why are you asking such a dumb thing, you know? He never even thought about it. You carve the inside first, the outside first. But as time went by, for me anyway, and it looks like Taran-san is on the same idea here, I would always carve the inside first. And the quick and easy answer is because it's more difficult. It's much more difficult to carve the inside of that curve without breaking your knife than it is to go around the outside. On the outside, you can make a mudabori cut. You can cut extra lines first so that when you carve, the wood pops away. But on the inside, you have no room to do that. But for me, the biggest reason is there's no way you're going to get it exactly on the line anyway. And it's important to have the circle look even walls. So if you carve the outside first, defining the wall, then you really have no wiggle room. You've got to get it exactly right on the inside, and that's more difficult. But if you carve the inside first, if you've got a bit of variation left and a bit of variation right, you can carve the outside to match that. So you get a nice, attractive line, even though it's not exactly what was on the drawing. So for me, whenever it gets tight, whenever it gets really tight like that, it would be the inside first rather than the outside. For these lines now, am I carving? What did I do on that one? I carved the inside of the leaf first. But it really doesn't matter because it's wiggle, wiggle, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, you know. This one's okay because there's so much room both sides, but tiny circles and stuff, that's the tough one. Inside first. Also something I'm doing that Taran-san is probably not doing when he carves is I'm clearing away both sides of the V-cut. I cut the line, and then like you see now, I'm cutting the junk away. And I don't know, probably Taran-san probably doesn't do that, or Asuka-san, his teacher, certainly doesn't do that. He cuts just the lines. And then to clear away the inside, that's done with the ice-ski chisels mostly. They consider it a waste of time. Cut the other side of that V. Chat, chat, chat. So much going on here again. Oy, 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 oy. Well, thanks again. People are saying thank you. Well, thank you to you guys for coming here. It's okay. I'm just working. I'm just doing nothing special here. So. Will Mokuhankan find time to produce other prints than those for the subscription series in the foreseeable future? Yes, we have other projects cooking. I know I can't tell you exactly what's going on for two reasons. One is we chatted about this a little bit. There's an NDA happening around a large project that might be happening next year. Jed has been approached by some people to make some prints, whatever, that's all I can say. If that project gets the green light, then on a big order, we'll be doing a big order with Jed on a sort of a private project, something that won't be for sale. It'll be a massive, massive project, and it will tie up a lot of our resources for the next year. If the project doesn't get a green light, or we decide not to accept it, then we will be using resources to make other prints. So yes, there's a few more prints. There's the third print in the Sushi Cat series coming out. There's the Bon Odori print is going to be coming out in a few months. There are other prints we will be publishing during the year, not just the subscription prints. And then part of it's up to Tarankan here. Taran-san, whatever, he's sitting there waiting for work. So if we could cook up a project that he can do, if Asuka Sensei, his teacher, gives him the green light, then yeah, there's another project that could come into being. So there is other stuff coming down the pipe, yes. So. Is there an event where carvers and printers gather and share insights and knowledge? No, they don't do that here. They don't do that sort of thing here. Absolutely not. Carvers and printers here, they work in their own workshops. They don't teach anything. They don't show anything. They're not going to show the guy in the workshop down the street how it's done. They want to keep their own techniques to themselves. There's no such thing as a place where you share expertise. It's just not done. And I don't think there's anything Japanese about that. Most skilled crafts in most places, I think, would be like that. You keep your own workshop methods to yourself. You don't share them with the other workshop down the street. There's a competitive aspect, if nothing else, The carvers and printers, when they get together, it's to drink. It's to drink. In fact, I had that specifically right back at the beginning when I first got accepted into the Craftsmen's Association, what they call the Kumei here. It's a half a union, a half guild, a half, get together, whatever. When I was accepted into it, I was accepted under the knowledge that there wouldn't be any work distributed. They wouldn't be giving me work. And I said, that's okay. I've got my own jobs. It's okay. I don't want to take away work from you guys. So I go to one of the first meetings, and there's a table. We've booked it in advance. They know who's coming, so the restaurant has prepared a place setting. You sit down, all at this table is a place for everybody, blah, blah, blah. And we get there, and the food starts coming, and I turn to the guy next to me, and I'm like in my fumbling Japanese, and I just don't get what this is about. So how do you make conversation with this guy? So I started saying, when you're tying your barren, how do you do this and this and this? And he looks at me like I'm from another planet. We're not here to talk about work. He pours some beer and drinks, and they're talking about the horse races or whatever's going on. And the last thing in the world that they want to talk about when they get together was work and stuff, And Dave gets the idea pretty quickly. Over the years, when I'm meeting them like that, there's no conversation about techniques or tools or jobs or whatever. And part of it, too, another real reason why they don't talk shop at those meetings is because who's doing what work? Who got that job? Adachi started doing something. Did you get the carving job? Did somebody else get it? They want to know who's working and what's going on, but they don't want to tell who's working and what's going on. Especially in the years when the work was few and far between, through the 1980s and 1990s, when nobody had any work. It was tough, Guys wanted stuff to do, but you didn't want to tell anybody when you got work. Hey, So it was touch and go, and you didn't talk shop in those meetings. Absolutely no. It's maybe probably different now. I don't go to the meetings anymore, but it's probably different now because there's so much work out there nowadays. Everybody is busy. Everybody is busy. So it might be quite a different mood and quite a different feeling. I don't know. I haven't been to a meeting since we opened the shop here. You know. Okay, got your own conversation. Good, good, good. Taran-san, he's going to see this and he's going to think, why is Dave doing that right now? Because this is not the way that his mentor, Asuka-san, does it. Asuka-san will cut the lines first on the whole block with very little use of the other tools. It'll be 99% just the same tool, just cutting the lines, before he even picks up another tool. But Dave here just likes to clear areas zone by zone by zone, you know. And where am I? In fact, that's an exact example why they don't do that. I got lost there. Where was I? Turned the block around, can't find your place. You've wasted 10, 15 seconds. There's no way they're going to do it that way. That's against the grain. Why do I do it this way myself then, if it's not the official way? Again, so many times in the early years, I would do it cutting just the lines, and then when it comes time to do the next step, like this, clearing out the inside, it's sometimes really difficult to see what's cut and what's not cut. And I screwed up so many times. I would come here with the tool and it turned out that line wasn't cut, and pop, off it comes. So I ended up just following this kind of routine, just doing it zone by zone. Cut the line, clear it, cut the line, clear it, cut the line, clear it. And at the end of the day, it probably doesn't matter so much. The method I'm doing here takes a little bit longer because of the switching back and forth. But at the end of the day, the block is the same block, you know. And whatever, my rationalization for myself is we're not trying to do the time is money. It's just okay, whatever. If it takes a bit longer this way, that's fine. Compared to the old days, we're all so freaking slow anyway. All of us here, myself, Taran-san, Asuka-san, compared to the guys in the old days, we're all so slow at this, you know. Those guys were wicked. Hontoni, they were wicked fast. Leaves, leaves, leaves. You like the eight views of catchers. Well, the next print will be coming out soon. Well, what's your definition of soon? The third print in the 8 Cats series is now carving. The key block is now being carved. It'll be ready in 2-3 weeks from now. Then color block carving starts. That'll be another month. Test printing starts. That'll be another few weeks. So we're some months down the road, but it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. And it's on my job now. I've got to get the 4th one decided. I've got to decide what to do about the 4th one. But so Taran-san, Soka, school is off, right? You're not teaching. So carving. Carving. Good. How do other carvers react when I tell them about Twitch, YouTube, whatever? I don't really have much contact with other carvers these days at all. There's only a few more in town. I don't, they do their work and I do my work, and there's not much contact with us at all, you know. I mentioned being part of the Craftsmen's Association. They have perhaps even dropped me by now, because I haven't been to a meeting now in 5-6 years, you know. It just became difficult for me to go to those meetings after I became a publisher. In the early days, I was just this kid who was hanging around. That's okay. They don't mind, you know, blah, blah, blah. As I told you before, they didn't talk shop, but it was okay if I was there hanging around. And also, I was good for publicity because I got lots of good media, and I helped the whole genre get promotion in the media, stuff like that. But once I became a publisher and started publishing stuff, it became really different. And it became difficult for me to go to those meetings and to chat with those guys. I got to be careful, and I'm not going to name names and stuff, but you know, once I became a publisher, I then had work available. And a lot of those guys, printers especially, they wanted work. And this is, again, back before this thing exploded. And we tried. Some of them asked me for work, and I thought, wow, this is cool. I'm going to be able to help support this, and blah, blah, blah. And I sent work to Mr. So-and-so and Mr. So-and-so, and you know, a few of them, 3 or 4 of them. And without exception, the prints that came back were prints that we could not sell. And it's really a bit of a paradox. These are experienced guys. They know what they're doing, most of them, and yet I couldn't sell the stuff they made. And the reason is we do our stuff in Mokohankan quite a different style. In the 20th century, it's became the custom for people to print rich black key blocks and slap the color on. And this is not the way traditional ukiyo-e prints were made, but for some reason during the 20th century, this is how these guys ended up doing it. So I would ask them, okay, here's the sample. I want a delicate gray key block like this. And the guys would say, okay, it's not, no, okay. And they would listen to what I asked, and they would say, yeah, sure. Then they would go home and just do what the hell they wanted. And I know in their minds, absolutely they're thinking, he's a foreigner, he doesn't know what's going on, he doesn't understand our traditions, we'll just do it the right way. And whatever, without wanting to get into a big argument about it. My view is that during the late 20th century, everything post-war, those guys really got off on the wrong track. And they didn't know it because they just did what their you know, oyakata, their teacher, showed them to do. And long story short, they won't listen to me, so I don't use them, I don't hire them. But they can see we're doing well because they see it on TV and they get the idea what's going on. So they ask me for work. And I'm simply not going to give it to them. So these days, I just don't bother. I don't go to the meetings anymore. I'm not chummy with them, you know. Whatever. We've got our house style, and it doesn't match what they're doing, and that's all there is to it. You know. There are a few outside printers that we're using. I can say people that sort of, they're willing to work in our style, or people that I've trained, whatever way you want to look at it. Kubota-san, he does lots of work for us. He really, really does a nice job. He doesn't always agree with me, but he's a pro in that he listens and he will do what I say. We pay him really, really well. There's no, So there's a few people out there. Kubota-san for one, Yamamoto-san for another. He's really happy to do exactly the way we want it. He's drunk the Kool-Aid. He's come on board. There's the other man, the one we call Sudi Taro. I can't tell you his name because he still is employed by another workshop and they don't allow moonlighting. And he does how I like it. How's our time? We're okay. No problem. Well, what's this? Visitors. Okay, hi guys. Welcome visitors. If you don't know what's going on, we're making woodblock prints. Perhaps there's going to be explanations in the chat here. That's a lot of raiders. Thank you for joining us, guys. It's hard to tell what we're actually doing here. This is a piece of wood, if I can zoom out a bit. It's a piece of wood with the design pasted on it, and we're carving the design. And the point being, we're going to end up with a piece of wood, which, after we rub pigment on it, will make prints. We will take pictures use this piece of wood to make pictures. And the carving process takes quite a while. It's weeks of work to get this thing carved first before we start actually making pictures. There will be a show and tell here. It'll be 9:15, so we have a good show and tell today. It's as I mentioned before. It's a grab bag. A grab bag. It's from a Kyoto workshop. It seems we've got a bunch of prints today that seem to have come from a printer's workshop, or it could have come from a publisher's place. This could be the leftover stuff from a closed publisher. And the same guy had 3 or 4 different auctions up the other day, and one of the other ones I really, really wanted, but not really, really wanted enough that I was willing to pay more. It went past what I could afford to pay for it. So. Questions, questions, questions. I can't catch it all here. Okay, thanks. Looks like nothing specific for me to answer here. Living national treasures. I think there's three. They keep it at a three at a time. And they usually have living national treasures. I mean, they're all over the country for different crafts. But as far as paper making goes, it seems that they're keeping to three at a time. They have one guy from the Mino field of making paper, one guy from the Echizen field of making paper, and I don't remember another guy from somewhere else. And it's not automatic. It's not that when somebody dies, click, somebody else gets it, but they generally seem to keep three of them. And at the moment, it's really unusual. The guy who's making our paper, Iwano-san, is a living national treasure, and he is very, very rare. His father also was, and this is extremely unusual. His father was a treasure, passed away, and then a short time later they gave it to the son. And that's really unusual because, as I understand from it, they don't want this thing to be in any way inherited automatically. It goes down next, just stand in line and you get this thing. So I'm led to believe that that's really, really unusual. It's Iwano-san, Iwano Ichibe. That's not his birth name, but it's the name you take after your father dies and you take over your business. You take his name. So he is now Iwano Ichibe, and he's the 9th, the current man. And I say the man who's making our paper, he himself actually is not so active in the workshop every day anymore. I mean, he's active hanging around there, but the bulk of the work now is done by his wife and his son, Jun-san. Jun-san is the workhorse now, taking most of the labor. And they have a young lady who comes in a couple of days a week to do rocking. So it's the four of them. It's Iwano-san himself, his wife, his son, Jun-san, and then a part-time person who comes in. Those are the four people who are making the paper there these days. So. And perhaps after Iwano-san passes away, he's in his mid-80s now, perhaps after he passes away, they may designate his son as a treasure or not. I don't know. Nobody talks about that. Nobody expects it. Nobody knows what's going on. You know, it's not just an honor. You know, it's actually, and this is a bit of a strange word, it seems. It's actually a burden. It's a burden, and there are people apparently who have refused this. You know. It's, because what they do, it's the culture ministry, or whatever it's called these days, Ministry of Culture and Technology and whatever, I don't know. It's not just here's a pin for your chest and whatever. It's a big deal. I know you have to document what you're doing. They send in teams to document what's going on. They do research papers on your work, and you have limits on what you're allowed to do and you're allowed to change. If you're recognized as a living national treasure, it's because they think that thing that you're doing should be preserved, and they're adamant you cannot modernize it. You can't, do anything else. So there are people who don't want anything to do with that. They want to get things going in a new way. So it's not all just it's not just a purple ribbon they stick on you. It's a big deal, you know. Before Japanese printmaking, I worked in Western. No, my first printmaking was Japanese. I'm not a printmaker. I'm not an artist. I don't have any knowledge of this stuff at all. Trying to catch questions. Are there any living national treasures in the field of printmaking? No, I don't believe so. I don't believe so at all. I don't think they would do that, again, to speak of living national treasure and printmaker, it actually doesn't make any sense, because in the traditional field, there is no such thing as a printmaker. There's paper makers, there's publishers, there's printers, there's carvers, there's stuff like that. So they could perhaps at some point take one of these craftsmen, but there's no such thing as a printmaker in the traditional world. There are modern printmakers, people working in a Sosaku style, the modern creative style, but they're not using traditional techniques for the most part. So it doesn't make any sense to have a living national treasure. So while you would find anything like a basket maker or a paper maker or something like this, where the product is made start to finish by one guy, that makes sense to have a living national treasure. But in the field of print making, that's not how it works here. It's not start to finish by one person. So there is no such thing as a printmaker in this field, in the Japanese traditional field, you know. Where to next? Just keep going around, I guess. Grab another flower. Bit by bit. We've done some leaves first, did some more flowers, quick cut out to these bulbs, another leaf. What's next? Maybe this little flower here? This flower? Let's do this one. Just work your way along, bit by bit by bit. Oh, my mother's in. Is she this morning? It is hopeless. My mom's still having printer troubles, paper jam. Still having printer troubles. I can't get over there to help. So I think it's no question. The printer is going to go out and another printer has to come in. There's no other solution for what's going on here. My guess is there's some plastic parts broken inside and her paper just won't fly through. These questions for me, how much freedom do I have when choosing what to make? I'm not sure if these are questions for me or somebody else. I run this place. I do whatever I want. In the days when I was working by myself, I chose projects to make that would give me technical training. So, are there techniques you wanted to try but been unable to? No. I created work that gave me training on the techniques that I wanted to learn. So, did I watch the clip of Ending 2019? I'm sorry, no, I don't. That I linked on the last stream. No, I didn't see anything like this. If you make a comment now, I'll see this at lunchtime, so I'll look that up. Are you talking about a Twitch clip? So this is the point. My mother said, my mother needs some stuff printed, so let Dave get the original, print it, and send it over. So actually, I was going to do that. She wants it's a nightly crossword puzzle. She prints a crossword puzzle out from a newspaper website every evening, and this is my mother's nightcap. This is really funny though. What people, I can't sleep. Well, don't do anything intellectual. Don't do stuff that makes your brain buzz before going to bed. My mother, just before going to bed, she prints out a cryptic crossword, one of the most difficult kinds of crosswords there are. She prints this out at 9 o'clock in the evening, sits there in her armchair, does this fiendishly difficult puzzle, then goes to bed. It's against the rules, but whatever. It's against the rules. But she's recently having trouble because the printer's not working and her nightly routine is a bit disturbed. So I think she's been doing them on screen, trying to click it on the screen. Yes, it's garbage truck. There's a garbage truck just down the street, just before around 9 o'clock. Okay, Tom, I'll have a look at that later. I don't see what you've got there, but whatever. I'll look at it later, of course. I cannot. How's the fridge in Ome going? I assume it's still running. I don't know. There's a paradox there. The fridge in Ome, nobody's there. Nobody lives there. The girls use it for putting their lunch in summer to keep it cool. At the moment, nobody uses it, but it runs 24 hours a day, wasting electricity. So I'm not sure if it's time to just retire it. Even though it works, I should just retire it. But then they need a fridge, you know. Yeah, my mother has a new Kindle there. I guess my sister bought her a Kindle. This was funny. My sister, we're okay. We get along with each other fine, no problem. But if my sister's sort of thinking, I got a good idea. I'll punch Dave. She gives my mother, for Christmas, she has a delivery, a Kindle. So my mother opens this box at Christmas time. There's a Kindle inside. Okay? So you've got to sort of set it up and make it talk to your router and make it talk to here and log in there and log in there. So I spent hours on Skype the other day with Mom. Hours on Skype with Mom, getting this thing set up. But apparently it's working now. So she says, I've sorted out the Kindle. So okay, I better do a bit of work here. What time is it? Yeah, 10 more minutes before show and tell. Let me get another session here of carving, and then we will have some interesting prints to see. I should also, I guess, before we get to the end of the stream, mention what's going to be going on. It's now a year end here. All the schedules here in Japan are changing like crazy. And Dave's schedule, as soon as we finish the stream here today, I'll finish at 9:30 or so, I am then going to grab my backpack and I'm heading out to Ome. I've got to pick up a bunch of stuff. I've got to say the last chance to speak to the staff out there. I'm going to be heading out to Ome today. I'm not staying out there for the New Year's. I'm coming back here to Asakusa, but I've got to pick up a bunch of stuff. And one of the things I've got to pick up are part of the print that I have to make over the New Year. And it's kind of confirmed now. Over the next week or so, I have to do a print edition. I have to make 100 copies of one of the prints in my Solitudes series, a back issue. Long story short, we'll talk about it later on the streams while we're making it. But the story is there are now going to be some printing streams over the end of the year here. I'm not exactly sure when they will start. Today's Monday, and the next stream is going to be Thursday here, Japan time, Wednesday evening for you guys. It could be the first of the printing streams, or it could just simply be I'm still back here doing this carving. But after that then, towards the end of the year, as we move into January, I will take the cameras and gear upstairs into the printing room, and I will be doing some printing streams. And we'll talk about it when we get there, but when I'm doing a printing stream, there's much less chance for me to sit here and talk and look and keep in touch with what's going on. When we're carving, I can put it down, chat, pick it up, continue. When I'm printing, you can't do that because the block dries out. So whatever, we'll do this. I think it'll be plus minus. It'll be minus, there's less chance for understanding what's going on in the chat, but it'll be plus, it's a chance for you guys to see different work that we normally don't see on these streams. So over the course of the new year, later this week and into next week, certainly by next Saturday and Monday, the streams will be printing streams from upstairs here. Which way Thursday is going to go, I'm not quite sure. I can't see that yet. And I'm of two minds. We need more video content for YouTube, so it would kind of be cool if I did lots of video of the thing while I was printing it. But it's the same problem. To do good printing and to make video of printing, the two things just do not play together well. So whether I'll be able to do that or not, I'm really not sure. But and then as for what print will be done, it'll be the 12th print, the final print in what's called My Solitudes. And they're on the woodblock.com website if you want to check it out. It's the small print. It's the print of a small tiny fish. No cats, it's going to be fish. And simply I didn't make enough copies back when I was publishing that series, and now they've caught up to me, and people are waiting for that print. So I have to get busy and make some. And that's not a job that can be outsourced to the Mokohankan staff, because that print set is my own publication. They're all made, designed by me, cut by me, and printed by me, and signed. So they're not a normal Mokohankan publication. So I can't ask another printer here to do it. It's got to be done by me. So. what have we time here? Okay, show and tell time, show and tell time, show and tell time. But before we do, we have a show and tell now, interesting one for you. But before I can do this, I've got to ask your forbearance here, something else. Give me 1 minute. I've got to make a quick visit to the smallest room in the house. 1 second. Give me 1 minute. I'll be back in a second here. We'll have a look inside this package. Okay. Notice I carefully unclipped the mic before taking a quick trip to the bathroom there, of course. That reminds me, there's one of these times we're doing those NHK programs. Doing the NHK travel programs, we're out there 3 or 4 days, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I got a Wi-Fi mic. They put a mic on me and a little pack in my pocket. And then they've got the receiver at the camera end. So I'm free. There's no wire holding me, whatever, So we're doing this show one day, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, just, guys, you can break. And I go to the bathroom, whatever. I come back a few minutes later, and the guy with the headset, he's got the mic. And I realize he's been listening, whatever, while I'm in the bathroom. I'm like, I hope you enjoyed that. So whatever. Okay. What we have here, as I said, this looks like a package of stuff. It's either from a printer's workshop or a publisher's workshop. And it's Kyoto stuff. This is Kyoto. And this is Kyoto tourist stuff. And he put a few options up, group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, whatever. And one of them, which I didn't get, was a massive group of prints, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of prints from this tourist workshop. And I guess I could have paid more, but whatever. It's year end. I've got to keep the cash. We've got bonuses to pay this month. I just couldn't spring for it. But I sprung for one of the smaller groups. So what we have here, it's what they call in Japanese dead stock. Dead stock. It's from a... As I said, it's from either a printer or the publisher. And we will have junk and treasures in here, I think. We will have junk and treasures. We have a ton of different postcard prints, clearly Kyoto tourist stuff, and we have a ton of other stuff. This is going to be interesting. Let's just flip through and see what we've got here. And it looks like a lot of this stuff is in multiple copies. So we'll be able to keep some copies for ourselves, and if it's of interest, we'll put some of the rest in the flea market stuff. We'll see what it goes. I can't promise anything because I don't even know what's in here yet. Let's have a look. Look at this rich, dense printing. I said these are from Kyoto, and clearly they are from a Kyoto. Some of the ones, they actually have Kyoto addresses on them. These match labels have Kyoto addresses. But it's not all going to be Kyoto-style printing. Let's find a space to look at these and flip through. Is that a good layout? Okay, let's do just one part at a time. Let's go through this pop first. Let's just get closer. Oh, this is both kinds of white. It's funny. You've heard me talk about the Kyoto printing, where the white stuff is white pigment stuck on top. And we have some of that here. This snow at the bottom is white powder printed on top. But the snow at the top here, these are white paper. This is cut out. Sky's printed twice, blue down, gray up. Is there going to be one copy of each, or are we going to get... No, we've got multiple copies here. Let's just flip through. Let's just flip through. Nicely done. When were these made? This is a good question. Let me go through first and get a bit more of a view on these before. It's certainly post-war. These are post-war tourist prints. And for the most part, we're probably going to see scenes of... No, it's not just scenes of Kyoto, it's scenes all over. This is Nikko, I think, to show. That's the main gate at Nikko. This is nice. Look at these. Look at these. Rich rubbing. Look at the rubbing on the back. Can you see it? Thin, thin paper, but vigorous. Look at the Baron marks. That's the scratching from the Baron. Kyung, 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 kyung. Insanely high pressure. Deep, rich pigment, high pressure printing, and fast. These guys would have been blindingly, blindingly fast. Well, a few seconds for each impression. It's pretty cliched stuff, you know. This is tourist stuff. This is stuff for the tourist market. Completely, you know, schlock design, but this is what tourists wanted, and what they still do, you know. And it still has an attractiveness to it. It's fun, you know. I know it's schlock, I know it's hack work, and yet they're still fun. They're still fun. There's something about the three-dimensional aspect and the way colors go in washi paper. Even though this is the antithesis of art, it still has beauty. Still has beauty. And we have multiple copies here, so it looks like we will have some stuff to go into the flea market. Look at this. How many copies of this one do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, another one. Have we seen that before? So there are multiples. So yeah, some of these will be available in our flea market. We'll see later on, after I've had a chance to sort out what's going on. Oh, here we are. Some of these now, they're not all free prints. This is a freestanding. These have been glued on. This is a card. This is for postcards, for actually mailing, putting in the post. But the print itself is a woodblock print, but it's stuck on. So it was Nikko to show. Somebody's got the, this is, I don't know, what do you call the gate? I forget. Yomei Gate at the Nikko Shrine. Thanks, John. Again, oh, look at this. So it's an actual postcard. It says Yubin Hagaki. So it's been glued on to a postcard. So these would have been sold in shops in Kyoto, and people would buy this. Dear John, wish you were here. Come to Japan, blah, blah. You know, postcards. But the printing is nice, smooth and rich. Printing to die for. These are very nicely made. Very, very nicely made. There's nothing of this quality being made nowadays down there or here. Kyoto again. This will be on a Ginkakuji, I guess, to show the Golden Temple. Or Ginkakuji or Kinkakuji. I can't even tell the difference. It says Ginkakuji, the Silver Pavilion. Very nicely made. I am very happy with this here. We have treasures. We have treasures. These are beautifully made. So much nicer than the work they're being done now. This is white pigment on top, and you can see it. You can see this, it's blobbing up. This is not chopped out white sky. This is pigment on top. It's on top, but it's also printed. It's not flaked, it's not sprayed on. There's a block carved for these with white pigment dabbed onto it, and then the print put face down on the block. Sometimes you'll see these, it's sprayed on, but so the pigment will be in just different places all over the place. These are from the dots from the same place, so it's sprayed on. And look at this, look at the variations. I would get this is from a publisher's workshop left over, not the printer. The printer wouldn't have a bunch like this, different colors, whereas the publisher would have. Needs a heron, yeah, right. Let's keep going. What's this? Oh, I forget this guy's name. I can't remember. This is a person. I know it's an artist, 20th century artist who did this kind of stuff. I don't know his name. I can't remember. And this one is foxed. This is heavily foxed. This is not part of the design. This is bad paper, bad storage. Ooh, we are going to keep that separate from these other ones. Kiyomizu Temple. Somebody asked about the woman in the umbrella. There she is. I'm not sure what we're seeing here. Is this cherry blossoms, but it's also snow, or no? Well, these are trees covered in snow. This is Kiyomizu Temple, and it's surrounded by cherry blossoms, but I don't quite understand what's going on here, but whatever, doesn't matter, it looks beautiful. This is Ginkakuji again. Ginkakuji in the snow, as it says. And again, we can check, is the snow on the print? Yes, the snow is printed. You can see it's the same pattern. So it is printed. It's not flaked on or sprayed on. And it's the same thing, you know, it's Kyoto tourism. It's temples and snow, and temples and snow and umbrellas, you know. Yes, and we will have some extra stuff to put in the shop. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Woo-wee, woo-wee, woo-wee. This one again, on a postcard. You're done with paper, I'm not sure what you're talking about, tokinoki. There's two things, torinoko paper, or you're talking about tokuriki, the guy in Kyoto who did stuff like this. It's the Daimonji, the famous in Kyoto, where they set that mount. Oh, look at this, there's tons of that one. Look at this. Okay, this gives me an idea here. This gives me an idea. Look at this. Let's take this print, for example. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 copies of this print. I'm going to keep 1 or 2 for myself. So say we've got 5 of this. Some of these have multiples. Let's do something with these over the New Year stream. Let me think about this, or you guys put some suggestions in. How should we do this? If we take names, random names, people who have been in the chat, draw names out of a hat. Let's give some of these away over the New Year period. Let's have a giveaway. Let me think about it. Let me think about it before the next stream. And you think about it, suggest some ideas. No, I don't mean a caption contest and building a website and all that kind of stuff. Something I can do without fooling around. I get the chat in a text format every day. And I could quickly run it through a sort, take out duplicates, pick names, so I can easily extract the names of the people who have participated in the chat. But I don't want to make it so that people will start spamming this to put their name in 100 times to get something. Throw me some ideas. Throw me some ideas. Hike contest. Throw me some ideas, and over the next few streams, Thursday, Saturday, Monday, let's give some of these away. Throw me your ideas. I'll think about this based on your ideas, and I'll let you know in the next stream what we're going to do. I can't keep all these for myself. We can sell some, but why not? Let's give some away. This has been fun. Let's give some of these away. When were these made? Oh, look at this. Look at this. More. Look at this. This is our... The more there are, the more people can get one, right? Look at this. How many are there? 5, 10, 15, 18. So there's at least 15 of these to give away. We can at least announce that. Maybe there'll be more, but at least there will be 15 copies of the Kyoto Daimonji print ready to give away over the year end. But let's do this in a way that doesn't involve spamming this, please. We gotta get going. Dave is still, oh my God, look at this stuff. This is treasures. Look at this, look at this, look at this. I'm so happy with this. What actually are we looking at there? This is Kyoto stuff, so this would be Nara, the deer park in Nara. I'm not quite sure what we're looking at there. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? No, it's a little miniature shrine. Not sure what it is. Oh, it's upside down. Okay, there's a bunch of this one too. There's a bunch of this one. Hey, 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 hey. How many of these? Look at this. 5, 10, 15. You notice the professional counting system, right? Those girls in the banks, they do the shuffle, 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 bing, bing, bing. We do it as well. The girls upstairs, Chiharu-san, she is so fast at counting paper. She'll do a batch of prints, go tut, 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 foop, fan, to fan them out, and then she'll just go bang, 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 and within seconds, she's got the count. There's none of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Someone's asking, no key block. No, no key block. Ask Flyfish for Fun how this is done. So there's no key block on this. They would do a quick rough sketch and trace it onto different blocks and then cut them. How many were there? 15. So we have at least 2 designs here in the great year-end giveaway. At least 2 designs, maybe more. Let's see how it goes. Oh, this is Arashiyama. These are all Kyoto seeds, Arashiyama. I think we saw this one earlier, didn't we? I think we saw this one. And we'll finish off where we started out. Good, good, good. Okay, cool. Tell you what, let's save the other side. The other side is match labels, and they're not actually so interesting. So let's leave those out of this for now. Very nice, very nice. I don't know how many there are. I had to pay just over $200. I bid just over 20,000 yen for this group this time. And there was another group, and it went, I backed out at $1,200. The auction went to $1,200 for the other group, and that's where I backed out because I wasn't even really sure what was inside it. So this group, it cost me, where's the auction? Just a sec. The auction finished a couple of days ago. I'll put the link in so you can see it. Here we are. It cost me 22,000 yen for this group, which is, yeah, just over $200 US. So it's okay. So we'll keep some for our collection. We will put some in the flea market to get our money back on this, and let's give some of these away. Details to be announced in the next stream on Thursday. Okay, there we have it. There we have it. There we have it for now. Okay, a couple of things. The people who sent these gift prints on a flyfish, and Karen, thank you very, very much for those prints. This is really, really appreciated, and it's so warming for me to see that people are actually doing this, because a big part of what we do this and why we do this and why we don't run ads on YouTube and why we don't charge for Twitch, because we want people to be learning this and doing it. And to see the results here, right here in my office here. Thank you very, very, very much. This really, this presses all the right buttons for me. So thank you for the two of you for sending those. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll be back here Thursday morning. I don't actually have a mask. It's in my pocket, which is over by the toilet. So I can't mask up for you, but you know what we're saying. See you on Thursday. Thanks very much. And look forward to some interesting printing streams coming up over the New Year period. More details as I learn them. Thanks very much, and bye for now. And Zaksa starts to wake up and come alive. School's off. Look at these kids out jogging with their mothers. School holiday. You don't walk the dog, you walk your kid. See you next time, gang. Thank you very much. Bye for now.